gonna try this again. We got our 21% block chance, which rumor has it is the cap for PvP. Alright, we're over here in right practice. Why? Because get the strife bonus is here. Percentage effects reduced while fighting players. This is a good place to test stuff. So ideally, I need to get hit by one enemy so I can kind of get like a decent baseline to test against. Alright, so I got a ton of guys. Let's try this. Getting a certain amount of blocks. Then when I get this hardened senses, it increases my block chance. That's what I'm trying to see, if it actually takes it over the cap. How did the video paused? Alright, let's try this again. You get hit by... Yeah, and of course it doesn't show blocks when you have... Oh yeah, it does. Okay.
That's
It's
showing block while you have the absorb shield up.
Activated. See if I'm blocking more. Let that expire. And now I should have a huge amount of block. And the Paragon kicked in. Alright. So, what I basically have to do is count how many hits I took versus how many blocks and kind of try to figure out an average. Try one more time. Just get a little more data. Pause and break down. That was very nice. Very nice. Alright. So, this is crazy. I found Quick Pro video editing software, and I can basically go frame by frame. This is really designed to take pictures of your videos, but I can go frame by frame and count every single hit and every single block. Keeping a tally on paper as we go. So far that was 5 hits, or I'm sorry, 5 hits, then 1 block. Hold on a minute. Which is pretty in keeping with 20% block, right? confused when it says block. That stays up there. Seems like a lot longer than the damage numbers. Another block. Third block. Fourth block. Alright, this is pretty boring. I'm just gonna cut it here and we'll get to the results. Alright, here's, if anyone can read it, this is kind of my tally here. We're gonna go over this. Alright, so I got a base block chance of 21%. Alright, count it out. I got 23.8% block in the video on just the base. I'd honestly, I find that within acceptable tolerances. I wouldn't read into the numbers being different too much. I'd say, yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't even argue, honestly, with 23.8. I don't know. I probably wouldn't even argue that the block is over. I wouldn't argue that there's not a block cap. I'll put it that way. Of 20% of just the base block. Now, this is where things gets interesting. Let me navigate over here. My hardened senses, my basic. Every time I land a basic, hardened senses increase my block chance by 30% for 3 seconds. So, what that means is that when I have hardened senses active, that should, my theory is that it accumulated with my base 21% block damage, and I should have 51% block damage. I crunched the numbers, and of course, there's a little bit of I tried to plan for. I tried to leave a little bit of buffer in between. It's hard because you go from base without the hardened, and then you strike. There's hits landed on me in the same time. I'm kind of trying to allow for that, but according to what I counted, I had a 47.8% block chance with my hardened activated. That's pretty close to 50.1%. I'd say again that's within allowable limits right there. So then, because I'm running the Survivor Paragon, let me show you what that's supposed to be. Whenever I drop below 30% in life, I gain 35% increased block chance for 6 seconds. So, my question, my theory was, does this stack with the base block chance, and does it stack with hardened? So, I calculated, I counted out, and again, this isn't accurate. it's not 100% accurate because there's a little bit of overlap. You know, right, going from nothing to, to having hardened or the Paragon activated. Excuse me. So I calculated a 40% block chance when the Paragon activated. So I think that I only watched the one video, but I think that's just it's not going to be 100% accurate here. You're not going to have every. Sometimes you're going to be below that average number. Sometimes you're going to be above it. But like over the longer course of time, it's going to average out closer to the number it's supposed to be. I think it just didn't trigger as much. The other theory is, and I didn't do the math on this yet, but it's possible that this Survivor Paragon, instead of getting 35% block chance, I might be getting a third of that because of the strife bonus reduction. So instead of hitting 35% chance, it should be 11 and point something, which added to the 21% base, 40% is pretty close to that. So I'd say it's a very likely possibility that this increased block chance is actually nerfed by strife bonus. Now we get to the really fun thing that I wanted to look at, and what happens when I have my base 21% block chance, my extra 30% from the hardened, and the Paragon kicks in. That was really interesting. Instead of having, I should have had, what was that, 65, 70, I should have had an 86% chance if Survivor's not nerfed. I calculated an 81% chance, 81.8% chance, block chance. That's insane. That's broken. That's insane. Now, again, 81.8 is lower than 86. So, am I actually having... Yeah, so the question is, does all that stack? Am I just not quite at that 86? Or if this is nerfed by strife, I should have a 62.6% block chance, which, I mean, again, maybe I got better numbers, better average, because who knows whether strife is block, or whether this you know what, I don't think your Paragon is supposed to be nerfed by strife. I don't think so. So I'm just gonna go with we're probably just the average is a little bit off. Maybe I counted a little bit wrong, but for all practical intents and purposes, I think we have proven that your base block chance, your hardened bonus from your passive or from your basic, and any Paragon block chance can stack, which is pretty big deal. Show you real quick. I'm looking at right now. I block 16% of incoming damage above the 50% base every time I block. So I'm yeah, 16% plus 50, 66% that I'm blocking. So I'm only taking roughly 33, 34% damage, right? So even if I'm only blocking, with everything stacked, when the Paragon kicks in, I'm below 30% health. Even if it's only like an 80% block rate, when I'm blocking 66% damage, that's a whopping 52.8% of all incoming damage that I am not taking. That's, granted, that lasts 6 seconds, but I also get the movement speed bonus. It gives me a chance to get out of there, to heal up. It's not quite as good as like the Gladiator revive, but but the cooldown on it is 60 seconds. Navigate back over here. Yeah, cooldown on it is 60 seconds versus Gladiator Paragon. My cheat death cooldown is 210. Yeah, 210 seconds. It's a much longer cooldown. Not only that, I want to throw in, you can swap Paragons live during a battleground. So, strategy I've kind of come up with over the last 2 days is I'll run in with Gladiator active. Once that first cheat death triggers, then I'll run back, get somewhere safe, and then come switch over, throw Survivor on. I get, extra damage reduction for every percent of my missing life. So I can, knock that effective, what would we say, 52% damage reduction, 66% at a 80% rate. And then as I lose health, I stack on top of that up to like, I'd say max of like a 10.8 if I've lost 90% damage. It adds up. It's nice. Yeah, it's it's been pretty good. And the beautiful thing is, once cheat death comes back, I can just swap back. So yeah. So basically, block chance. Block chance is block chance. Whether you build the extra block chance into your build, or whether you just rely on hardened senses and or the survivor paragon, like even with just the hardened senses and survivor, you're still sitting at 65% block chance when they both activate. You're hitting 35% every time you land a basic. If you're going against ranged guys, sometimes you might not get that basic in. But yeah, so armor, really good on a Crusader. Block chance, stacks. I couldn't tell you. Maybe 20% is the base just from your gear. I don't know. I don't know that that 20% is ever been looked at as an official number. But what I can guarantee is hardened senses, stacks on your block chance, Paragon, stacks on your block chance. Anyway, video's getting long enough. I'll go ahead and get off here.